Good evening. What's happening today? Is this one of my quiet watchers? Hey, Monroe. How you doing today? Thank you. Another cool day here today. It's only in the 50s most of the day. It's down 46 right now. I think it's supposed to be 40 tonight. I had 40 here this morning when I got up. I've kept the wood stove going all day today just so the house didn't slow down or cool down any, and that way I didn't have to work so hard to warm it back up this evening. And it keeps my other heat running. Saves money that way. Yeah, well, a couple weeks ago we had a couple nights there that get down in the low 30s. One night it got down, I think, either 28 or 29. One of those is the ones that my video there where I showed the ice where I left my water spigot outside spray all night so it wouldn't freeze. When I first came to Florida, I didn't think it would get cold that way. And the house I used to live in, my other house there, uh, Christmas Day when I got up that morning, my water lines were all froze. My water pump was frozen. It cracked it. But I was one of them too, that didn't think it got that cold in Florida. So while it's cool now, everybody's wishing it'd warm up, and a couple months it'll warm up, and we'll wish it was cool again. I had somebody else come in and give a second thumbs up, but they didn't stay long enough for me even to find out who they were. Normally it don't get that cold. We get nights on and off where it's down, in the 40s and stuff at night. 50s is more normal, but we do get a few spells here and there where it'll get down in the 30s and occasionally the upper 20s. Back in 1983, 84, somewhere in that area, I think it was. We had a bunch of hard freezes down here then, for Florida, and it kind of devastated a lot of the. Hey, Billy. It kind of devastated a lot of the orange groves down here. There's so many of them that they froze the trees out and stuff that they didn't even replant. They just cut them out and did away with them. There's a lot of places used to be orange groves that are now buildings on them, shopping malls or whatever. Kind of hurt the Florida agricultural and the agricultural economy. Okay, see, I wasn't aware of that, Billy, because a lot of times the darn notifications don't come through up through that somebody added or anything or whatnot. And it's, some cases, I'm not even getting notifications, getting the comments after the videos or the live streams. YouTube just seems to be messing up terrible lately. I'll see my sub count, go up one or two that somebody's sub to it, but I don't know who it is. So I can't even, get back to you on it. And then a day or so later, it'll try to go back down that one or two again. So I never know, what's happening. I was looking the other night, and it said, I think in the last 28 days, I had gained 15 subs and lost 12. So too many people, I think, are coming in and subbing. And if you don't know that they sub to you and don't sub them right back, then they don't stay. They'll turn around and unsub you or whatever. And the other part is if they come in using their ninja channels, YouTube don't count those anyway, so they remove them. It's just hard to keep track of what's going on with the way YouTube messes them up at times. But you just have to sit back and give up on it and just have fun instead. Yeah. Mine hasn't jumped that many in one time, but usually, might go 4 or 5 in a night, but then I'll lose most of them in a couple days. Same thing with the views on videos and stuff. The view count will go up, and then it'll go down. And I keep saying, well, how can you take away a view? How do you unwatch it? Unless YouTube is doing that when they remove a ninja, they also remove the view from it. Yeah, I do too. That's where I go and check the stuff on them. I've even had my watch hours go up and then go back down. My sub count hasn't changed much in a long time. If it just kept going up, it would be changing it, but it goes up. Whatever it goes up, it basically goes back down. Millie, where are you located at? I'm not familiar with your channel. I'll have to go back and look at it later. Yeah, I get a lot of that too. They'll say they did, but then it don't show up, and usually my sub count don't change, which would kind of indicate they didn't do it afterwards. But also, if you go back in there in your YouTube studio and read it, it says those that don't have their thing marked public or however, I don't understand how that works. You can't tell that they're sub to you. So that don't make a lot of sense either. I mean, I can't see, but maybe less than half of the ones that are subbed to me. So, a bunch of them, I don't know who they are. I know where you're at, Monroe, but I was wondering where Billy's vlog channel is from. I just didn't recognize the channel to know where it was. Haven't seen it before, so I don't know where he's from. Hey, Ken. I wasn't sure if the notifications are even going out again on this. I wasn't sure if anybody'd be here. I didn't see Rena or Maureen doing Zumba, so I didn't think you guys were going to be there. Huh. I'm surprised. I mean, 'cause as far as I know, mine's not marked as where it won't show. Like I said, YouTube's just kind of screwed up lately. And I think a lot of the problems came when COVID started because everybody staying at home got bored and they all jumped onto uh, YouTube for something to do. And it just, swamped YouTube system there and they can't keep up with it. I just want to keep yawning tonight for some reason. I don't know why. My big excitement here today has been watching old Audie Murphy movies, and now the old Ronald Reagan westerns are on. Oh, I know there's so many of them that got multiple channels, and then they bounce around trying to use all of them, saying, "Well, I'm helping you with all my channels." What? But YouTube don't accept it that way. They delete the extras. So they're basically wasting their time. Yeah, Ken, that Zumba, I don't think it'd be too bad, to go and spend your time and do it like the girls are doing. But they just have to travel, so far to get to it and do it, and then traveling home afterwards, plus, their side trips and stuff. That just makes for a lot of time just getting there and back and doing it, whatnot. Would discourage you from wanting to do it every day. I mean, if you had your own car you could drive, it'd be different. But with them having to wait in the jeepney and whatever, it's just hard to get used to the idea of not seeing the tricycles buzzing around the neighborhoods like they do in the other, towns and stuff. Because it's always a lot easier to catch a tricycle than it is a jeepney. Yeah, I knew you did. Um, it took me a while to get used to it because I kept looking for your old name on there. I do have two channels, and my other one is just Happy Pappy 2. And the only reason I had the second one is because at one point, see, I never log out. When I shut my computer stuff down, I never log out. But somewhere along the way, my computer logged me out of everything, and I couldn't remember passwords. I never write them down, and I don't use them because I never log out. And it took me a long time to figure out what my password was again. In the meantime, I created that second channel and used it for a while just to keep going, and wasn't sure I was going to get this one back. Yeah, because the girls have nothing else to do otherwise, exercise wise. I mean, they can go up and down stairs, 3 flights of stairs there. But it's not like you have a job to go to, you got stuff to do all day, or the ones in the province that are working on the farm or whatever. So the others, it's a good thing to occupy time and burn some energy. That's one of the bad things with me sitting here. Since I'm retired now, the weather's crappy or whatever outside, I just say the heck with it and I sit in here and do nothing all day. Where it used to be, when I was on the road or whatever, I had to travel regardless of the weather. Now, if it gets too cold, I stay in. If it gets too hot, I stay in. If it rains, I stay in. Makes you get lazy. I think another one that's seen that same thing is Joe and Jassy down in Georgia. Joe's on here a lot anymore in the live streams, where he didn't used to be when he was still working. He's just running out of things to do at home when he's sitting there by himself because Jassy's still working. I know after my dad retired, because he was all wound up in the sports and stuff, when they were snowbirds, they spent winters here in Florida and summers in New York. And second or third day after he got into Florida, he'd go around to all the colleges around the state and get his season passes for the college basketball season. I would like to go again, Monroe. I just got the problem of my kitties. I don't know what to do with them. Ken and Mike Roberts are planning to go over mid-April or sometime too. What part of the Philippines are you going to, Monroe? Oh, in Manila? Okay. See, Mike and Ken are going to Baguio first. That's where both of the girls are at. Okay, I know where that's at. Never been there, but I know where it's at. Only part of Manila I was in was at the airport. Then one trip I flew out of there and went to Davao, which is down in Mindanao. And the other one I rented a van and went out to Dait, which is over in uh, Camarines Norte, over in the Bicol region. And with their speed limits and the traffic, the tricycles and stuff on the road and whatever, even by van, it's still an 8 hour or better ride to run, I think, 180 miles. If you go by bus, it's 10 or 11 hours. You're leaving the 19th. You already got your tickets then, Ken? I haven't talked to Mike in a while, so I didn't know what all was going on. Well, yes and no. Not everybody's out to screw you over. The biggest thing, you're going to, a lot of places you go, if you're trying to buy stuff, they've got a Philippine price and a foreign price. If you're a foreigner, it's going to cost you more. So if you're with your girl, it's best to let her go in and find out the price before they even know you're there, and she'll get it cheaper for you. Hey, Jim. I mean, I never really thought about that when I was there, but I'm sure that a few things cost me more because, like, I bought the girl I was with there, I bought a new mattress for her bed because that damn thin, what they call pad, they had on the bed to start with there was just hurting me to lay on it. My ribs and hip bones were getting sore from that being so thin. So we went to town, and went to a place, and it's the place her brother-in-law worked at, and I bought a mattress, and then he delivered it to the house. But I wondered afterwards, if they made extra money off it because I was the one paying for it. Yeah, just send her in ahead of time and let her, do it, whatever. Some things that don't matter. But if you're going to buy anything of, much expense or anything to it, let her do it. Because they just automatically look as a foreigner as having money, so they charge you more just so they make more of it. He's coming over Wednesday, so you can sit and buy the tickets together. Oh, he's going to stay longer? Well, difference there between, his job and your job, as far as how much time you can take off or whatever. That's true. Um, you're a walking ATM to the girls, and you're a walking ATM to the businesses. They see you coming down the street, and that $3 item all of a sudden became a $5 item. Well, that idea works too, Jim. But I mean, you can use that same system here. Like when you go to the flea markets and stuff, because they all want to make money too. But if you're not willing to pay it and walk away, a lot of times they'll come down on it. It kind of goes back to money makes the world go round. I never wear any anyways, but one of the other things, a lot of people say that when you go like that, don't wear a bunch of fancy jewelry, and whatever, because all that does is just encourage, the thieves to want to rob you, pickpocket you, or whatever. If they don't think you have any money, they won't bother you. I mean, it's kind of like here. You're going to break into a car to steal stuff. You break into a Cadillac or you break into a Volkswagen. Yeah, that's true, Jim. You, I don't know where you were at last night, Ken. You missed what I said, I guess, when Rena and Marine were out there doing the Zumba. I told Mike, I says, yeah, she's out. Marine's out there building up her muscle. She's bulking up. You'd have to be careful when you get there. She'll be hurting you. 'Well, they're all used to, you know, fending for themselves. Even when you first get into Manila and you're standing there in line in customs, if you leave a little bit of space between you and the person in front of you, three people will step in that space. Well, that's a good idea to go with, Monroe. How old are you now? I was 63 when I retired. My dad retired at 55. When I lived up in New York, I had a friend up there that was uh, in the fire department. And he became of age, to retire. And everybody kept telling him, well, go ahead and retire now, go do what you want. He said, no, if I work 2 more years, I can make captain and I can retire with captain's retirement. He worked that 2 more years, made captain, then retired. And 2 years later, he passed away from cancer. 59, you've only got 3 more years then. That'll go by quicker than you think. Ken, did you say you're what, 57? Last day is Friday, Jim. Okay. See, when I was on the road driving truck, I was doing auto transport, and I originally had intended to keep driving till 70, as long as I could pass my, DOT medical. But everything that kept changing in the federal, requirements and everything and whatnot, and then my insurance took a big jump there. The last year I was on the road, that's when I finally gave it up. Yeah, and surprisingly with Social Security, every year it's, either gone up very minimal or nothing. This year it took a 5.9% increase. Said it's the biggest increase they've had in 40 years. Hey, Bikini, how are you doing today? I just went back in a little bit ago and rewatched your premiere from this morning. That way I got to watch it all without the interruption of the chat. I missed a lot of it with trying to search back through the chat and stuff to keep up with it. Well, Monroe, you just have to sit down and look at, you know, what money you have put away, how it'll affect your Social Security if you take it early or take it later, whatever, and go from there. What works out best for you financially that lets you do what you want to do. Bikini, I need to get another way to talk with you off it YouTube, where we can talk some more. And we don't have to share everything with the whole world. Yeah, but it's just hard too to support your premieres sometime because of the time factor of when you do them. Your next one there that's Wednesday, that's on at 4 a.m. for me. I might not wake up in time for that one. I wanted to get up this morning to watch, the one you did today at 5:15, and I kept, saying that during the night there. Well, I'll try and get up and watch it. I just happened to wake up at 5 o'clock. And I went back to bed afterwards and got up at 7 or 7:30, I guess. Yeah, but if I don't get up for the premiere, then I don't get to talk with you during it. That makes it fun too. We're 13 hours apart in time, so it's just a little bit hard for us to get a chance to talk. That's true, Jim. And the other thing is, you never know. Tomorrow may be your last day. Yeah, she has some very good videos out there. She shows a lot of nice parts of Hong Kong and stuff with her hiking and running and whatnot. She's got a lot of good cave videos and stuff that I like watching. Yeah, I know she's got a bunch of them. Like I said, she just had a premiere this morning at 5:15 a.m. And her next one is Wednesday at 4 a.m. What does that mean? More yellow code. And Monroe, here's one of her sidekicks for a lot of these cave ventures and stuff. Oh, the yellow. Yeah. Yeah, I think mine does too, Monroe. But I just don't check my Gmail, because that's the only thing that goes there is YouTube. I just don't think to check it most of the time. And the way I've got it set up, I get notification every time somebody subs to me, every time somebody makes a comment, whatever. And I need to, I don't know, thin some of it out, I guess. What are you gonna do? Change it, make it earlier for me? You know, with the one you did this morning, I was debating back and forth on that one because I was still up at 2 a.m. I says I need to get to bed because I want to get up at 5, or should I just stay up till 5 and then go to bed? But if you change the time on it, how does that affect you with you being able to be there for it in your work? Because you said you do it then. That's because when you're free. Yeah, more you like a Morris Monroe. You like a Morris channel too. A lot of hers are the same type of videos. Where they sometimes they do them together. The travels and hiking and stuff. But it's a lot of hiking, climbing, whatever. She's got good content also. You just have to give her a hard time for letting people post too many emojis. That way she can get mad at you like she did me. The more you show in your preview or the trailers or whatever afterwards, I don't know what you call them. But some of yours are, um, I don't know if it was scuba diving or snorkeling, but I don't remember seeing any of your videos that way. Did you do any of those that way, or that just parts of it you used for extra? So why aren't you in the group now more? You two always seem to have fun together. Okay, I'll have to go back and look through your older videos. Every once in a while, I go back and catch, some of your older ones. I just don't always get time to go back and, look for them. I don't go back and watch any live streams because they're most generally live streams are too long and they don't have much in them generally, just like mine. We're just sitting here talking, so there's nothing for people to go back and get excited to watch. But I like to go back and watch your videos. Even like the ones where you're doing your rock climbing and stuff. And some of the stuff I see in that, and I don't have experience at it, but just what little bit I know about it like that, there's some things that I see that they're having you do that I personally think is wrong, but you know, I get told all the time things are different in the Philippines. Your your 15 eyes. Did Bikini leave us already? I never know what she has for free time, and she don't often stay too long. I just watched your most recent video the other night, more the one you did, the Valentine one. Oh, okay. I've never done a Premiere yet. I need to figure out how to set up StreamYard and try that sometime. You and I talked about that before. I just forget about it and come on, I just start it here instead. But even my lives here, they vary 30 to 40 people or 30 to 40 views, I guess they call it, so whatever. And during the live, why are you going to delete it? You did a good job with it. Plus, if you delete it, you lose those views and watch hours. Even my little short videos seem to get some good views. That one of them there that I did on the frost, I noticed tonight's got over 80 views on it already. That's all right. Most any of those that you're doing on that, what do you call that? One of the two of you are singing together. I've seen other, Filipinas doing that too. They just, randomly pick somebody that doing what they're doing, and it works out good together. It also takes a little bit of work for you to do it where you get everything coordinated so you match up on timing and stuff. But you did good on that one tonight. Yeah, I know I can. I've never tried it. I was reading about that yesterday when I was just looking through stuff in the YouTube studio and telling how to do it and such. I just gotta get brave and try it. I like the premieres, like I said with Bikini, they were I get to talk to her doing it. But when the chat gets to the point like hers has been lately and yours used to be, it makes it hard to talk to anybody because the stuff's rolling through so fast. You miss a lot of the comments. Then when I'm scrolling back to find them, I'm missing stuff in the video. Hey, IJ. That's why I just told her this evening there that I went back and rewatched hers and I found I missed half of it just spending the time in the chat going back trying to look for the comments from her and you. There she is. She's back. I didn't know if you was still around or if you'd left back to work. Now, Amor and Bikini go out and run through the caves and climb the cliffs and whatnot. IJ goes out and walks around in the snow and barefoot. Okay, that's fine, Bikini. Hey, Mike. Hey, Rena. All we're missing now is Marine. Ken and Jim are both here. Hey, Ira. On the way to the supermarket, huh? But don't spend all your hard-earned money. There's Marine. How are you this morning? Ken said you was too tired to go to Zuma today. I knew that was coming, IJ. there's a lot of stuff with that voice to text that don't come out right. Kind of like Google Translate don't always come out half of what you're looking for either. It's a good thing you were late, Marine. That way you didn't see when Ken gave me a kiss. But you always come in and spoil it. Rena, who'd you ask a question that didn't answer? I didn't see you ask one. Oh, do I have a girlfriend now? I don't know. Do I? Maybe I wouldn't want everybody to know if I have a girlfriend. You'd all be trying to take her away from me. Well, I'll put it this way, Rena. I do talk with one once in a while that says she likes cats. I'll just leave it at that. Maybe someday she'll be sitting here beside me when I go live, and then you'll find out who she is. How many what, Rena? Hey, Alona. How are you this evening? One of my neighbor's dogs barking out there now. They usually don't bark unless there's something going on somewhere. Other than they do have one female. Hasn't been doing it lately, but it used to be when she was younger. Whenever they went away, like for the weekend or something, it was quiet all day long. But then about dark, he would sit here at the back door on the back steps and just bark. Bark that way all night long. Now it's quit. It got quiet outside. Why does everybody figure I have so many women? And then I live alone. I don't think there's anybody in this chat here tonight that does it. Has any of you done any of the silent live streams? Okay, Alona. I'm just curious on what kind of watch hours you get out of it for the time that it sits there and runs. I didn't figure you would get enough to make it worthwhile doing it, but I see a lot of people doing them all the time. But some people do stuff and don't even pay attention what they're getting out of it too, so. Jim and Bikini have both done silent lives. Okay. Do you actually gain any watch hours by doing that, or is it a waste of time? Because I was thinking about just doing one as an experiment and just leave this sit here while I'm either go to bed or go outside doing stuff during the day or whatever, just to see what kind of watch hours it actually produces, if any. Just because I don't know. And see, my other thing with doing them, I don't have anything set up where I can edit anything. So when I do the lives, my videos, anything like that, whatever happens is what's there. Yeah. I need to go check the fire. I've been on here an hour. I'm gonna make sure I didn't let it go down. I didn't have much wood in it because I haven't had too big of a fire today. Well, yeah, but what the ones I was looking at, people kept recommending. Then it said I had to get something else to do it to make it work on the laptop, where most everybody's doing theirs on their phone. And the one to do the one you had to get to make the free one work on the laptop, you had to pay for. Like I say, I just don't know what I'm doing. Is my biggest problem. So, all right, hang on a minute, guys. I need to go check my fire. You know, it's a good thing I checked. My fire was getting down pretty low. Well, like I said, I've had people suggest different ones to me, but no, the only thing knocking the door was the neighbor's dogs are barking like crazy again. So I went out and just stepped out to look to see what that was, but I don't see anything outside. The way they're carrying, I didn't know whether the bear was coming down the road again. We have a lot of black bear around here that wander through the neighborhood at times, especially with Monday being trash day. People put their trash out Sunday night, and the bears come through Sunday night and tip all the trash cans over and scatter stuff around. I never put mine out till Monday morning. That way I know they don't get into it that night. As long as I've lived here, I have never had the bears bother my trash. Other people, every week there's a scattered. You girls keep going off and using Tagalog and stuff like that, and I can't understand what you're saying. It takes too long to try to translate it all, and I don't translate right anyways, most of the time. Well, I may do that in time, Jim, get something better, but I'd like to get something now just simple, just to learn how to do it and experiment from there, and then figure what I want to do afterwards. It's not like I've got a big slew of videos to go through to try to do that way. But see, that's also why all my videos, themselves are short, because I just do a short one that way and then post it, because I can't do a short clip and another short clip and another and add them together as one video. I don't know how. Even like when I did the short ones there with my kitties and stuff, I started off in the carport and then walked around the house to somewhere else. Or I could have left that walk time out, and added the other later. But maybe someday. All right, Alona, you have a good day. Maybe the bear is out there somewhere because the dogs are going at it again. I haven't seen the bears in a while, other than seeing a trash can somewhere in the neighborhood where they've been, dumped over and whatnot, or see their droppings. I used to see them a lot, a couple years back. If I could see some of them again like that, I'd see if I can get some videos of that to put on here. Well, I never even set any playlist up until just recently. I was just sitting there playing stuff here one day and figured out how to do it, so I made a couple playlists up because I was always going to these different channels. They were having that spin the wheel thing, and you win so many watch hours. They watch your playlist, whatever. Well, I never had any playlists. I just had a bunch of 2 and 3 minute videos sitting somewhere. So I never gained on that one whenever I was to win them. I used to go out when I lived at the other house. I used to go out a lot at night, and just walk down the road and stuff. That part of it there, I was away from the lights and whatnot, where I could watch the jets and stuff that they were flying over for coming out of Orlando or Sanford airports, either one, or watching the traffic on the highway, whatever. But I used to get to see the bears outside a lot of times at night that way. And there's times I've had them come up and they'd walk by, 3 or 4 feet away from me. I was sitting watching TV one night and heard noise at my front door. Weather was nice. The inside door was open, just the screen door was closed. Looked over, and one of my cats was sitting at the door looking out, and there was a baby bear sitting there at the door looking in. Yeah, but Jim, do you build watch hours watching your own videos? Okay, see, I didn't know that. That's like I've always joked with people in the past when they were saying that, that they only had such and such, watch hours. And I joke with them. I said, well, I watched your video 100 times. You should have that many. And then they'd thank me for it. I didn't think it would give it more than just the one time I watched it. Well, yeah, but even there, one, I don't have all the multiple accounts. I've got two. But the other thing is, I've had people that turn around and do that, using, as they call them, the ninja accounts and stuff, watching mine, and they'll turn around and show the added views and the subs and whatever I get out of all of it, and then 2 days later, YouTube takes it away. My first, my first live stream, everybody came on because they said, they'd never seen me before, they wanted to see it, and blah blah blah. I ended up with, I don't remember how many views on it that night. 11, 12,000 views. Then 2 days later, YouTube took 11,000 views away from that live stream. I think I've got a little over 9,000 views on it right now, but after I got that big number, they took over 11,000 views away from me. They took watch hours away from me on it. Well, I guess they didn't like me, Bikini, because I don't get that many views on them all now. Like the last 4 or 5 live streams I've done, they've all got around 70, 75 views on each one of them. So must be everybody decided they didn't like me. Yeah, I was joking around the other day there, saying, "Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and do a live stream and do something different, and just make it comedy and see what happens with it." Don't know if I can do it either. So yeah, see, Jim, that's something that I don't do. I mean, you have so many people that every time they come to a live stream, first thing they do is they ask for a jacket, then they drop their link, and then they leave. I've just never been one. First off, I've never asked for to be a moderator. I am on a lot of channels, but I never asked for it. Yeah, well, that's what I say, and I've just never been one to go posting my link on other channels. Once in a while, some of them there where they'll have it, to type their name or type a number, whatever, and Nightbot post it for you. I might do that once in a while. Yeah. I guess I just don't play the game right. I've always just tried to do stuff by the actual work of doing it. I was in a live earlier today, and a person came in. They've been there before, and we've had to stop them. And that person just went to each one in the chat, would name you, and then ask you to watch their video. Name the next person, ask them to watch their video. Hey, Nancy. And they went down that way, just person after person after person. We asked them to stop doing it. Once was enough, and finally had to time them out. There's another guy that used to do that all the time. I won't mention his name because a lot of you probably know him anyways. But he'd come in and he'd start posting his link that way. And a lot of people say, drop your link if you want, once in a while. But he'd be able to drop it 3 or 4 times per minute. And he'd just do that continuous. They'd finally end up timing him out. Hey, Boosie. Yeah, well, see, I used to go to Blessed Life all the time, and with her game that she played there, I won on that one several times. But everything I ever got there, I would gain a bunch of watch or views or whatever like that from it, and 2 days later, YouTube would take them away. I'd lose them. Well, Lucy, you had a fun live stream when you was going there. Well, the people that sub me, I do go to their channel and check them out. I don't do it immediately because that's one of the YouTube violations is sub for sub. If they see that you sub each other both right together like that, they take them both away. So I let somebody sub me, and hours later, the next day, whatever, I'll turn around and go check theirs out. Some people I don't sub them even though they sub me because it's channels that I have no interest in watching. Okay, Bikini, I'll talk with you later. Thanks for coming by. But there's some of them, that just do the strictly the gaming channels. And I have no interest at all in watching that stuff. Those games that, they're doing on there are of no interest to me. There was another one that subbed me a while back that I really liked their channel and the stuff they did, but I couldn't understand any of it because they did nothing in English. Absolutely nothing. But the stuff they had was good. But if I can't understand it, I don't benefit from it. Well, I'm not always in the chair, Mike. I have to go out and get firewood once in a while. I didn't bring any in today because I brought enough yesterday, the last night and tonight, but I may bring some more in tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, I may not need a fire tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's supposed to be 56. Wednesday, 59. And it's going to warm up because Thursday's supposed to be 83 here. Friday's supposed to be 84. I may be able to get away without a fire for a few nights. Yeah, I understand that, Jim. I've seen some of these others that you watch their channel or video or whatever like that, and it makes no sense at all. The number of views that they have on it. Hello, Christy. I wish they would bring the wood in for me. But I don't let any of them in the house but one. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. I don't remember whose live it was. Oh, Darren Dobson. I checked his today. He had one on there. It was supposed to, I don't remember what it was, but it was something about having important people on there. It's just other YouTubers. But when I went and checked his, he had 600 and some thumbs up. There was only a dozen or so people in the chat, but he had over 600 thumbs up. I'd like to get a drone because I think you can make some good videos with that. I like watching the ones that other people do with drones. Bikinis, Amore, JB Blogs, all three of them have used drones in their videos. Several of the truckers use drones on their videos. I think it just adds a lot of quality to a video. If you get that different view. Plus, you get to see stuff that the average person doesn't normally see. No, trying to think who it was that. Maybe it was JB. Was just talking about she just one of her lives here the other night. She said she had her drone was up. Wasn't sure if the footage is going to be any good or not. She crashed it into a tree. Me too, Ken. Doesn't matter what you do though, any of that stuff like that. To get something that's halfway decent, ends up just more money, more money, more money. You hit a seagull. So what happened to the drone when that happened? Did it crash it? When my neighbor next to me here, when the kids were staying there with him a couple of years ago, one of the guys there had a small drone. He got it. He was out playing with it. They came over one morning and wanted me to come out first thing there so they could get in my yard to see if they could get their drone out of my tree. And I don't think his drone worked after that. Mike, did you see the video I sent you on semi accident? It's a real short one, only, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes long, but it's all drone footage. But it shows a semi that went off the road in the mountains out west somewhere, I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't remember if it said where. But the trailer's still sitting on the side of the cliff at an angle like this, turned around backwards. And the pieces of the tractor, I don't think you could pick any piece of the tractor that was left over. I don't think is big enough or too big to put in the wheelbarrow. It just destroyed that tractor. And halfway down the cliff face, before he got to the truck and trailer, there's a stop sign laying there. He ran over it and took it down with him. IJ, your live earlier today just ended abruptly. Did you end it that way, or did you run out of battery? I know you'd made a comment about your battery was getting real low. Okay. Well, see, with what I was watching is when you went through that tunnel and just went up the steps there back onto the city street, and all of a sudden it just disappeared. A couple of people started putting up the little emojis that you was buffering, but I never saw you buffering. It just ended. So I had assumed you ran out of battery. I tried to get to all of yours. I just sometimes don't get notification and don't know about them, or if I'm busy elsewhere and don't even know that you're on, so I miss them. Some of your short ones you do live like that. You're out for a walk or just going to the store or whatever. It'll be over with before I get notification that you even had it. And I miss the ones you do at 2 o'clock in the morning too. Yeah, I think that happens to everybody. My mouse on this laptop is very sensitive, and I'm forever clicking on stuff I don't mean to. Once in a while, I play that bubble hit game where you have to pop the little bubbles all the time, and I'll screw that up big time every once in a while just because I just lightly touch the mouse and it's shooting stuff off, and I'm not even ready for it. You're supposed to get more snow. Well, the snow will help insulate stuff. Will make it warmer, but that'll mess the roads up. The other one I do sometimes in typing a message, I go to hit the shift key to make a capital, and we'll hit the enter and send the message before I'm finished. So then it makes no sense. Yeah, when I lived in New York, I had to deal with the same thing. And back then, I didn't know any difference. I guess I didn't mind having to drive in the snow. I got tired of having to shovel the driveway to leave in the morning. If I went to work or whatever, I had to shovel it again when I got home at night to get back in the driveway. But I don't miss driving in it now. I definitely don't miss the cold weather. It would take me a while to get used to that cold again, to be able to stay back up north. I've been in Florida now for, I think, 39 years. In 2000, I went back to New York for my grandfather's funeral in January. When I left here, it was 80. When I got off the plane in Syracuse, New York, it was 20 below. So that was a 100-degree difference in temperature. And it stayed at 20 below the whole week I was there. Even when we had the funeral, which surprised me, they had the funeral outside at the cemetery at 20 below zero weather. Everybody was about froze. I was pallbearer. And then the day that I was supposed to fly back to Florida, it warmed up and got back up like 20 above or whatever. Then we got so much snow, they canceled my flight. I see they finally opened up the Okay, Christy, thanks for coming by. I see they finally opened up the bridge there at Detroit into Canada by court order. Now the big talk is they're planning a convoy in the U.S. going to Washington. I think they're going to do a jeepney convoy in the Philippines. Bikini said she had to get to work. Amor didn't say anything, but she's probably doing the same. They're both in Hong Kong, OFWs. They're both in the same area that JB was at, because sometimes all three of them are in the videos back and forth together. Yeah, a jeepney convoy and a tricycle convoy. Well, the other one they've been doing a lot of here, or well, in Canada, is the farm tractor convoys. There's been a lot of places where they just had the interstates blocked right off with them big 4-wheel drive John Deere tractors. And that was one of the other things I noticed with the biggest share of them are John Deere's. And there's been several of them places there where they've done that, and it's all been just people on horseback. Hey, Maureen, how are you today? Same to you. Almost over with though, but well, that's true, Ken. That, and if you get the other places like in China and Vietnam and Korea and stuff, not the tricycles, but the scooters, motorbikes. The streets are right full of bikes all the time. I mean, if you go to the Philippines and everybody you talk to over there that sees anything here, say we all drive too fast, so fast, or whatever. But if you look at most of the American drivers, they couldn't get into the Philippines and drive in Philippine traffic. Yeah, yeah. Thailand's another example. But it's just, you know, the economy dictates what they operate. Small bikes, I mean, it may be a lot of money to them, but, something that in our economy is an inexpensive transportation. Because, like in the Philippines, most all of the cars over there, not all of them, but most, are owned by foreigners. Yeah, well, even the tricycles, are a, a little bit to the extent of being dangerous because of the cars and trucks. Well, the other thing too, IJ, the shoulder of the road is just another lane to drive on. And the 4 lane going into Manila, it's got signs down the highway that says, because you're allowed to drive on the shoulder, that says don't use the shoulder for passing. Yeah, but taxis can get expensive. Well, as many people as you see riding motorbikes and stuff in the Philippines, it's surprising over there the amount of people that don't know how to operate them and can't even ride a bicycle. I'll be right back. Hey, Josh. Hey, Tinkerbell. I go away for a minute. Everybody comes in. How's everything going in Canada tonight there, Josh? Are you snowed under yet? Yep, Ken, I was. Hey, look at you. Hope I'm pronouncing it halfway right. You want to be careful, Josh, or IG will time me out. Yeah, IJ says she's supposed to, they're expecting more snow too. It's down to 42 here right now, which is 16 Celsius. IJ Mike tries to blame me on everything. Rena is still here. She's been quiet. She must have been eating again. No, they're two different people. Yeah, it was fair, Josh. It was chilly here today. I didn't do much. I went out and just played around with the cats some and whatnot. And about all I did today. Made a couple phone calls trying to see about if I can get some of my cats spayed and neutered. But the one place that I called, they is ideal because they supposedly will spay the cat, give it the rabies shots and the other vaccine it needs for $10. But they don't do it if it's your cat. If you pick it up as a stray out in the neighborhood, they'll do it for $10, and then you bring it back and just turn it loose back in the neighborhood again. So they wouldn't do mine. And the other place that I called that was supposed to do them cheap, they're only open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then second and fourth Saturdays of the month. So I need to wait till Wednesday and call them. Guess I need to see if I can get some of them done before I end up with another bunch of little ones. Because otherwise, next year for Christmas, everybody's going to get a kitty for Christmas. I'll be mailing one to everybody. I look happy today. Didn't know I looked any different than normal. I guess Tinkerbell, I can just say it's just always nice to sit and talk to friends. Been quite a few in and out tonight. Some of them were here for a while and then left, and yeah, don't know what I do that makes me look sad, but other than just if I don't have anything on my mind at the time or whatever, I just sit and watch what's going on. I have several projects here I need to be doing stuff with every day, but I find one excuse or another not to do it because the weather or whatever. Did Canada have that bad of effect on him there, Josh? There's some days he does look like he just got up. Let's not get carried away, IJ. You go saying that, and then people expect it out of me all the time. Okay, Boosie, that's fine. Glad you were able to stop in for a while. No, I didn't even do that, Mike. I haven't shaved in a couple days. Keep saying I need to, but it takes too much energy. I want to go make a pecan pie. I just haven't got up and done that yet either. Well, IJ, I never realized that the camera showed that much specifics on me. I don't remember looking that bad even when I was sick. But Tinkerbell, I don't know how to put music and stuff in. It's one more of them things I got to figure out how to do. Same as several people keep saying, for me to do StreamYards thing come up, and then I can get you to come up here and you can sing for us. You always like to sing. Yeah, and IJ, if you listen to her more when she comes in, she always makes specific note of what I'm wearing. I don't even have that anymore, Tinkerbell. My two big, stereos with phonograph and the AM FM, and they're old enough that they played. Shoot. Yeah, but they're not real, Tinkerbell. The old, couldn't think what it was. The old 8-track that you used to have there. I've got two of those. They're sitting out in the garage. I'm going to tear them apart, I guess, and scrap them out or whatever. But that's how old they are. Now, Tinkerbell, these flowers up here. There's some over there, and there's more down in the windows down there also. This was my mom and dad's house before they passed. Hey, Angie. Haven't seen you in a while. But my mom put them flowers there, and I just never took them down when I moved here. Yeah, they may very well be dusty. There's not something that's easy to to clean or anything. For those of you that don't know Angie Rain, she is another OFW in Hong Kong. Yeah, any of you that used to follow JB, Angie was often with her. I think Angie's often the life of the party. She does have a channel with a few videos of the hiking and whatnot. Got a couple of them there where she was dancing on top of the mountaintops. Yeah, Mike, if the house gets too dirty, just move. Get another place. When that one gets bad, you just move again. Kind of like with a car. When it gets where the car needs to be washed, get another one. Yeah, about the only place that I have radio on, music and stuff playing is in the car. I haven't had a radio on in the house in years. Although half the time, a few of my neighbors, I can listen to theirs all the time. Not always the music I want to listen to, though. Because I mean, there's a few of them there that just play that music. All you hear is that continuous boom, boom, boom. Angie didn't stay long. She said she was just passing by. Yeah, that works, Josh. Well, that's the way some of my neighbors are, IJ. I mean, I've got people that are clear on the next street over, and they'll have their music loud enough that it's louder than what I want to listen to it here. The only thing I can think is they've got to be deaf or high one to be able to tolerate that. IJ, call Josh's wife and tell her what he's saying. Well, Ken, I've always, had the radio on in the car. Always, listening to whatever. I'm normally listening to country music, but when I was on the road with the truck, I didn't have it on because I always wanted to be able to hear stuff around the truck. How the motor was running and if there's any other noises that came up that shouldn't be there or something fell off the trailer that shouldn't have or whatever. I wanted to be able to hear it. The only thing I had on in the truck then was just the CB. Okay, Bussy, talk with you later. But I always had my CB on. Just a lot of people say the guitar and listen to the trash talk on there, which is true. since the FCC doesn't regulate it like they used to. There's a lot more of that there now than what there used to be. But you just, back to squelch off enough to get rid of some of it, and most of it when you're going down the road, finally you drive away from the people doing that. But that way you're able to hear what's going on traffic wise and whatever. There's so many drivers that have no idea, what's happening up ahead when there's an accident somewhere or construction backup or whatever. And then all of a sudden they get mad about it because they didn't know it was coming. I had a friend up north, Tinkerbell, that had a system like that. You could feel the vibration in his living room floor from his speakers. Josh, you going to take a stand and be the dishwasher and dryer too? Well, I have a dishwasher here, which I use, but with just me, it takes me forever to fill it up. I don't just run it every day. I mean, it may be a week or more before I run it each time. It's just like doing laundry. I do laundry every Sunday. A habit that I got into when I was on the road because I was usually home a lot of weekends. That way I'd have everything clean when I left out again Monday. But a couple of my neighbors, I can hear their dryers running pretty every day, and part of the time they're running all day long. I think they just continually wash clothes and must wash them again or something just to keep it going. Well, Mike, when I was on the road with it, like I said, I always most of the stuff I didn't pay attention to because it's just people talking back and forth or whatever. And now you got some of these truck stops, you got somebody in them that's coming on there telling what their special is or what they've got for sale or whatever. I don't care to listen to that, but I always wanted to know what was going on when there was a traffic backup or accident and find out what lane you need to be in and stuff like that too. But I've used a CB like that for a lot of years. I've st- I'm still using the 29 channel. I never went and got the 40s or whatever. Didn't need the extras. I was in a truck stop one night up in where was it? Arkansas, maybe. I'd left it on even after I got in the truck stop, and when the other guys in the truck stop there came on and told everybody just to kind of use caution. Said there was a couple guys that were in the parking area, wanted to come up and knock on your door. The other one was standing back at the back end of your trailer. Okay, Tinkerbell, we'll talk with you later. Don't work too hard. IJ, you're never right. You're always wrong. Ella used to do that all the time. She'd say that, am I right or am I left? Ken, that was something that I never really ran into a problem with anywhere. I mean, I've seen girls, in the lot that way, but never some, which is sad to say, but sometimes wasn't sure if it was a lot lizard or a female truck driver. Anymore, there's some of the drivers stuff, male and female, that leave a lot to be desired with the way they take care of themselves. Now, I have different times, with that, heard them on the CB late at night, asking if any of the drivers need company. You lock your door and don't answer it. You'd be surprised what you can do, Mike, if you really want to. But doing with them is kind of like you do with At Halloween, when you don't want kids coming to, yeah, commercial company, yep. Doing it at Halloween when you don't want the kids coming trick or treating. You don't leave your porch light on. That's kind of the symbol anymore that you're not giving out. No, I said that, Josh. About some of them, but there are some nice looking women driving truck too. There are some of them too that don't look big enough to be driving truck, like John Lynn. Kayla Taylor's another one. She's a small girl. She's driving semi. Besides, Mike, I always had extra space. I could just use one of the vehicles on my trailer. I transported, Cadillacs, BMWs, and stuff like that. Yeah, you deliver the vehicle, and then the customer's wife says, "Whose panties are these?" Well, IJ, it's doing that there is kind of the same as picking up the bar girls in the Philippines. They were having problems with that here a couple of years ago, out around Oklahoma City, and a lot of the girls there that were doing it were there with their older sisters, and they were both working. And some of them were underage. Just kind of shows the families they came from. Oklahoma had a big crackdown on that out there. Well, that's a strong consideration, IJ. That'd be one of the things where I think they've done in some countries, and legalized it, and then the girls have to, pass random health screening or whatever. That would, come more to protecting people that way. And it'd be just like they did years back, when they switched over and started taxing booze and stuff. Well, they're doing this and taxing them. The government would be making more money. I'm waiting to see what she responds with. Oh, I know, IJ, but it's in kind of in the YouTube chat. It's the one you hear about the most, or some of them talk about Thailand. But there's so many that foreigners that strictly go to the Philippines for that purpose, which to me that's kind of dumb. You have to spend that kind of money just to get a piece. Yeah, I'm in trouble again, Josh. And better looking, Ken. Yeah, because now IJ, you're a foreigner. Yeah, and IJ, that's the location that you hear most people talk about. They just wanted to be first, Mike. They didn't want to wait till you got settled in. Somebody else might beat them to you. Yeah, and IJ, and the big thing about it with them, they're like you're saying, it's because of the economy. The girls from the poor families are trying to, as a last resort, find a place to make money. It's just like there's a lot of girls that work in those cam show sites and then tell their parents they're working as a cashier somewhere. It all comes back to money. Well, they say that's the oldest known profession. That's true, IJ. And the other bad part of it, IJ, is too many of the guys will turn around and tell the girl what she wants to hear. Oh, yes, I love you. I'll do this for you. I'll help you with this. I'll help you with that. And the girl believes him. Desperation. One of the other things, too, that kind of brings into that same situation, Filipina P just did a video on it, and it's about the cycle with the Filipino people where the kids are supporting the families and stuff and just putting themselves into debt, whatever. And then they have kids and then they're doing the same. And the question was brought up, if you marry a foreigner, should you be supporting the Filipinos family? And she said if people would, break that age old cycle of the kids are supposed to support the parents and whatnot, instead of the parents taking care of themselves as they do in the rest of the world, would help a lot of the families over there. Well, that's true, IJ. And the other thing is too, a lot of the girls then end up pregnant, and the first thing the guy says, "Well, it's not mine," or they just never hear from him again. Period. I mean, I've seen a lot of them in online chat rooms and stuff where they'll be telling the girl, they'll do everything for her like that. I'm going to send you an airline ticket tomorrow so you can come here and be with me and whatnot. And they're neither one of them either know or thinking about it, whatever. The difficulties to go through just to get a visa to be able to do that. It doesn't come from sending an airline ticket. Yeah, well, that even happens in the U.S., IJ. There's a lot of them that get brought in from across our southern border that get stuck that way. That or the proverbial, sweatshop where they're factory worker, under demand. Yeah, that's true too, IJ. Like I said, it all comes back to money. And the poorer a person is, the more they're willing to do that they normally wouldn't do. Well, this has been over 2.5 hours. I didn't only intended to make this a short one tonight. I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm glad you all was able to hang out as long as you did. It's always fun to get everybody here together just to shoot the breeze. And I will talk with you all next time or on yours one. Good night, everybody.